80-30-20 rule, where you have 50% of your revenue for your needs, your survival, things you need to survive, like your food, shelter, your mobility, quite a number of things. And then when I talk about 30% for wants, you need to live a little, and to enjoy life, and you see your savings. But as a provider here, you just don't save money, put money somewhere, stash money somewhere. You have to invest, then you can grow your wealth. So savings and investments must go hand in hand. Otherwise, you are going to be liable with the crime called hoarding, which is putting money somewhere and it has no value, obviously. And putting money somewhere also means to lose value because inflation is crazy in the world today. All right, so I say I have my wonderful brother here, and we're having this wonderful conversation. So now we've talked about savings. Now let's go to investments now. And so if you were to advise someone, obviously you're from the real estate background, so I can get a glimpse of what you might say. So if you were to advise someone here, what would you say is the best form of investments? You've saved your money throughout the year. And then you think we should have milestones as well and say, in 6 months is what I'm going to save, or I'm going to invest, exactly. Or in 2 years. You think we should have that?
Of course. It's good you have, there's what we call asset class. So you need to diversify. Don't just put your egg in one basket. Okay, you think of, what do I want to go in? If you set for yourself, this is the industry I want to go in. Like, I want to go into real estate. In real estate, there are 1001 classes you can invest in. You can be, you can invest in rental incomes, you can invest in commercial housing. Okay, I want to concentrate on building shops, or I want to concentrate on shopping malls. I want to concentrate on residential apartments, so I want to concentrate on luxury apartments. So it depends on what, just have a taste and a class of where you think you have, higher interest in, and that it is of lesser risk. Because like I said, you need to take calculated risks. So in real estate now, there are a lot of things you can invest in. So, and like I said earlier on, the best investment so far, that nobody without is real estate. Because think of top rich people in the world.
Let's give an example. Donald Trump.
No, that one.
He was said to be one of the richest Americans in the 80s. And it was into real estate.
Yeah, even Robert Kiyosaki doesn't play with real estate.
Exactly, yeah.
So these people but they are masters in when it comes to real estate. They are masters there. Talk of Dangote himself here. He even has a company that deals in real estate. They build luxury apartments. They are like that. So you can't just say, and real estate is not just for the rich. There are ways you can go into it. And I think if time permits, we can talk about how you can invest, even if it is 20,000 naira in a month. So these are the things you can go in. So you talk of real estate, talk of agriculture, but these are basic things that people cannot do without.
I think like we mentioned, we talk about needs, right?
Yeah.
And needs have food in there. It has shelter in there. So those two industries are already incorporated in your needs. So first you need to feed.
Of course.
So agriculture comes in, and then you need to. I'm even talking shelter now.
Yeah.
Where real estate,
exactly.
residential apartments comes in. So you mentioned real estate. You mentioned agriculture. In terms of agriculture, what areas would you advise people to focus on?
Crops and livestock.
Crops and livestock.
Yes, exactly. So you rather go for farming. That's if you think you can handle it perfectly.
Why do you say that? The thing is it because
it's not everybody that will
the risk is very
high.
The
risk is very high, and if care is not taken, you just.
But the thing is that in the Western world, you see that they have food sufficiency. There's so much. So does it mean that they don't go through losses as well? And how come we can have those there, and in Nigeria we're saying the risk is so high?
I think it's not about the technical know-how. It's about our economic system. Let me give, for instance, my company has a section in agriculture as farms.
Okay.
Last year October, we bought like half trailer of big bull rice from. So we bought it at. Then I think the border was still closed. We bought it at the rate of 24,500 per bag. By November, we got an announcement that the federal government has lifted the border, so people can now bring in foreign rice. What happens? Our suppliers started selling 22,000 naira.
Interesting. So that means and you bought it for 24,000. That means loss of 2,000 on the bag already.
Is it that we sell at the supplier's price, or we sell or we just hold the rice and thinking that maybe sometimes the price
might go up
but
again.
it will not. Because as people have options, so they have money that you go for the lesser. They don't
in other words, what you're saying is foreign imported goods competing with Nigerian.
And because of our mentality, we believe that there's nothing, we can't do anything good in this country. You understand?
So what about fruits and vegetables? Can someone go into that? Do you think
Of course,
there's a competition in that?
yes.
Regards?
Vegetables.
You think there's lesser competition?
Yes, lesser competition because you can be importing cucumber from because when you can easily plant cucumber within some months and start harvesting them. You understand? And this thing people believe that since they are locally made, they prefer to eat those ones than
Imported one.
yes,
Imported one.
exactly.
So in other words, if you advise someone to go into agriculture now, you will tell them to focus more on fruits and vegetables.
And yes, of course, because you
than
need to
cash
look
crops.
at the environment.
Than
So
cash
what
crops.
exactly? So it's better. Look at the environment and look at what people really need. So if for
Actually fill the whole of the country, but the challenge is most of this rice we do not have enough rice mills.
exactly.
To mill the rice for consumption quality. So that's why most of the states are now beginning to go into rice milling, and that's where that rice mill. I have a feeling that at the end of the day also it has to do with price parity. You get if your price is good enough, you get what I'm saying. Even if it's made locally, people still go for it because people want to
have that brand.
yeah, people want to save money anyways. People want to save money on their spend. You get so I think eventually we're talking here as pals in the trade. Eventually, I believe that what we call it the pricing of rice will probably go down if we have more people, more hands in it. Because the thing is, people were talking about the border closure with so much uproar about it. You get, and then thankfully we hope that something beneficial will come out of it. So you mentioned going into real estate is very good. So in real estate, there are different portfolios you can put. So you can do residential, you can do commercial. I said residential, commercial. Which other ones can you go for?
And there's industrial, but it's not in this country.
What do you say there?
One, it is capital intensive. One, that's two. The Nigerian economy is not yet.
So when you say Nigerian economy, what is wrong with Nigerian economy?
It's not yet stable. Our government policy is
okay. So because the thing is, I always hear this about Nigerian economy. I would think from my experience, obviously, will be that largely because maybe we don't have good infrastructure. You get what I'm saying?
Who provides it?
No, I want to get that. So we don't have good infrastructure, for instance. So electricity, for instance, is terrible. Which is the core of industries.
Exactly.
But the thing also is, which is where as an entrepreneur will come into play. When there's something lacking, it means that thing can be provided. Obviously. So I would think that even so-called business people are not focused on what they're supposed to focus on. Most of what, for instance, I'll give you an example. Doing investing in electricity, for instance. You get what I'm saying? For instance, now you might decide to say as an investor that I want to invest in electricity for this vicinity, this locality. I just want to focus on these people. And then we have this pockets of small power plants all over the place. Eventually, it might come to be something tangible.
Like I said, for instance, I gave an example the other time that our government policy is bad. Okay. So what I have two challenges with the government. One, government. There was a time that the Lagos State government said they are partnering with private investors to come for low cost housing. Fine, you are partnering with them. When we have intention of developing residential apartments or whatever apartment we want to develop, there are some challenges we face. You go for what's it called? You want to perfect your title. It's highly costly. You want to perfect your title. Then, for instance, now during the time of Ambode, the price of survey increased 100% by 100%. The same thing when you want to survey in nature that before it was like 400,000 naira. It's moved from 400,000 naira to 800,000 naira. If you let it move from 200,000 naira to 400,000 naira. So imagine someone